Hello everyone, my name is Peggy Kulenfuka. For this presentation, I will discuss an interview I conducted with an individual in recovering from substance use disorder. I will summarize the interview, reflect on how it impacts my understanding of addiction counseling. I will connect the experience to the course readings, and I will discuss the value of Alcoholics Anonymous and Narcotic Anonymous. And then I will conduct with my personal reflections as a fit to clinical mental health counseling. The purpose of this interview was to better understand addiction through the eyes of someone who has experienced it personally. Reading textbooks provides valuable scientific knowledge, but hearing a person's story brings those concepts to life. As counselors, we must understand not only the biological aspect of addiction, but also the emotional, psychological, social, and spiritual dimensions. Listening without judgment helps build empathy and strengthen the therapeutic relationship. The participants shared that cocaine was the preferred substance because it initially created feelings of confidence, increased energy, and emotional escape. Over time, those positive effects disappear and were replaced by dependence and loss of control. The participant also described regularly mixing alcohol with cocaine, believing alcohol balance the stimuli effect of cocaine. Recovery has now become possible through professional treatment, faith, family support, and participation in recovery communities. One of the most important lessons from this interview was how addiction changes over time. Initially, the participants viewed cocaine as helpful because it revealed emotional pain. Eventually, the drug controlled daily life. Mixing alcohol and cocaine includes risky behavior and dangerous health consequences. This reinforced, this reinforced the importance of educating clients about polysubstance use and recognizing how addiction often progresses gradually rather than suddenly. The participants describe spirituality as one of the strongest protective factors in recovery. Faith provide, faith provide hope, forgiveness, accountability, and motivation to continue living sober. This aligned with many counseling approaches that recognize spirituality as an important thing, an important strength when it is meaningful to the client. As counselors, we should respectfully explore spiritual resources without imposing on our belief. This interview reminded me that every addiction has a personal story behind it. Rather than viewing addiction simply as a bad choice or a disease, I now appreciate how trauma, anxiety, emotional pain, and life experiences interact with biological changes in the brain. As a future counselor, I want to create a safe environment where clients feel heard and respect instead of criticized. Lewis 2015 argue that addiction is not simply a disease, but a deeply learned pattern resulting from repeat experiences that reshape the brain. This interview strongly reflects the perspective. The participant explained that cocaine initially relieved emotional pain, but repeat use strengthened those habits until drug use became automatic. Recovery requires creating entirely new routine and healthier behaviors. Lewis' discussion of neuroplasticity provide hope because the brain can continue changing throughout recovery. Although the participant uh, emphasize faith and counseling, support group also play a major role in recovery. Alcoholic Anonymous and Narcotic Anonymous provide peer support, accountability, sponsorship, and encouragement. The 12 steps encourage personal responsibility, making amend, spiritual growth, and ongoing self examination. This program help reduce isolation and remind participants they are not alone. Counselors can recommend these groups as valuable community resources while respecting each client's personal beliefs and preferences. Personally, this interview had a significant impact on me. As both a pastor and future counselor, I believe people deserve compassion regardless of their past mistakes. Hearing the participant or this individual describe recovery remind me that individuals are more than their addictions. I was especially encouraged by the role of hope, family support, spiritually, and counseling. This interview strengthened my desire to become a counselor who listens carefully, build trusting relationships, and helps clients discover their own strength while working toward lasting recovery. In conclusion, this interview deepened my understanding of addiction beyond what I have learned from textbook alone. Addiction affects the brain, emotions, relationships, and spiritual well-being. Recovery is possible when individuals receive support, counseling, accountability, and hope. As I continue my education in clinical mental health counseling, I hope to serve clients with empathy, professionalism, cultural immunity, and evidence based practice while empowering them to achieve meaningful and lasting recovery. So, throughout my presentation, I had two references, Lewis and Kelly. Thank you very much for taking time to listen to me. God bless.